Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Desert Rat. And once again, the game is 7 Days to Die Legacy Edition. I am in Navisgane and this is the desert biome. And you just saw me pass the horde base that I'm building, but we're at a safe point where I can safely spend the night in it, so I thought I'd kind of show what the trader had to offer here. And remember, you can use the trader glitch or exploit to collect any of this stuff in the trader or around the trader. As long as it's inside the trader or on the clang zone outside the trader, you can use the trader exploit to get it, including these doors I'm opening. Everything inside these lockers you can collect. Now, you might ask yourself, why would that be important? Well, there's certain things in here that are hard to find the resources of in the desert. So you could collect that desk, you could collect that mattress, turn the desk into iron, the mattress into cotton, and there's not a damn thing in that room. And you can collect that burning barrel, you can collect the vending machine and put it in your base, and then you always have access to teas and beer and other beverages. And you can't collect the trader. One of the guys I play with has tried that. But you can collect that spotlight, you can collect fence parts, you can collect these machines right here I'm looking at, these vending machines, and then sell them back to the trader for big bucks. You can collect that door. You can collect a wide variety of items in here, but I'm just kind of showing you what's in here. Some of the stuff is functional, like wall safes and the lights and the cars. Other stuff is purely decorative, like you could collect that chair, and then you could collect there's a desk coming up later, and set up a desk and a chair, and it's just for looks, but it ends up, it kind of dresses out your base. And the sky's the limit. You just got to use your imagination as to what you can do with all this stuff. And I always like to build a base that is functional and a good place to melee zombies from, but also a good place to fall back to, and just an interesting looking base. So, I might grab that couch and put it in my rooftop apartment or something. The sky's the limit on what you can do with this stuff. Collect it for the resources, for the decoration, or the practical aspect. Like these iron doors are pretty good to put on a base entrance. And we'll go ahead and look through this base. You can get that wall safe there, and that wall safe will actually mount inside the, what am I trying to say, a workbench. You can mount that in the workbench and then have storage built into the workbench, which is pretty cool. You can collect the refrigerator, and then it'll be decorative storage. You can just collect any of this stuff using the trader glitch. And that's enough talking. I'll just let this play out for a minute. If you glitch and collect these electronics, you can tear them down with the wrench and get a wide variety of fairly hard to find parts. With regard to this tower, I don't know if you can collect the whole tower or just sections of it. I haven't actually collected this tower. I have got the flagpole, and you get the whole flagpole. Alright, that's a quick tour of the trader. Let's head out and see what else is around here. Damn, that's a good looking base. And remember, that's just the start. That's just the melee room. I've got big plans for that base, so make sure you check back. Now we're going to run back here to the water source, which is right behind the... Damn, I hate those little cactuses. That's my first grind work, is to go around a place like this and remove all those little short cactuses that tear up my ankles. Anyway, here's the water source. Got this nice river here. It's kind of hard to get down to it, so I will go through and make stairs going down. And but endless water in the desert. It's a beautiful thing. And then across there you see those buttes. There's a lot of places, a lot of things over there to loot, and just a beautiful area once you figure out how to work it. And a lot of that is by building in a garden. And there's a trick to putting a garden in the desert. And most things typically won't grow in the desert, whether it's plants or trees. Now behind this rock and over to the left, you can see another rock boulder, and that one is inside the trader's clang zone. So that one you can glitch as many times as you want, set it down, harvest it, and get the nitrate, and you can get the nitrate, the iron, and the rock as many times as you want. This one is outside the clang zone, so I'll go ahead and harvest it. I ignored these aloe vera plants for the longest time until I figured out that they could be made into a cream that you can consume, or you can take that cream and some cotton cloth and make a healing bandage. So they're actually very valuable. I've been out looting and scavenging all day, and so now it is nighttime, and I'm going to work on the floor. So my intention is to dig down one block and replace this dirt with a wooden floor. I think that'll be sufficient. If it's not, I can always go in with cobblestone or concrete once I get set up and get my resources built up for that. But for now, I'm just going to go with wood. And even that is kind of a problem, because I'm running kind of low on wood. I really need to get some trees planted, so I'll probably work on doing that tomorrow. But I aim at the top, and that keeps me from digging too deep when I'm digging up this sand. And then I'll just replace it with wood and should be good to go. Another thing is, I'm not just removing this sand to get it out of the way, I'm actually multitasking. This sand will be used later to make glass and concrete, so sand is a valuable resource. That's the last of it. Now I'll just put down some wood frames and fill them in. Well, now this is unfortunate. I am nowhere near finishing filling in this floor, and I am really low on wood, like below 200 wood. And so I'm going to have to stop here and go plant some trees. And to do that, I need to use the rest of the wood that I do have to make frames. Let's go do that. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so the good news is I went through my various storage crates and did find a little more wood, and by a little more I mean like another 200, so I've got right at 400 wood, which is not much. And I'm going to go up here and find a flat spot and put in trees, and then in the middle of the trees put in a small garden. I'm putting it this far away from the horde base because if it's near the base on horde night or any other nights that they're drawn to the base, the undead will trample the garden and take out a substantial amount of crops. So I'm putting it out here away from the base. And of course I forgot my dirt and my hoe, so let me grab that. We'll run back over here to what is going to be the garden area oasis. Well, this looks like a pretty good spot, so I'm going to start building some frames, and what I'll need to do is make some more of these wood poles, because you put 4 of them forming a square box, like a planting box, and then you dig a hole in the center of that and you put in some ground, not dirt. You use the dirt to make ground, and that's where you'll plant the tree. Also note, in the upper left hand corner of my inventory there, I've got 3 different tree seeds. I've got pine, maple, and then I believe it's blue spruce, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to take a look at that later. Anyway, those came from a variety of biomes that I have collected in my travels here in Navisgane in 7 Days to Die, and that's what I'll be planting. That way I'll have a variety of trees, which not a lot of difference in what you harvest. It's mostly just aesthetic variety, but each will provide a buttload of wood for crafting, building, and running the campfire and the forge, and when cut down will provide 2 seeds, so I can quickly take my 14 trees and double that into 28 trees. Now I'll need to take the dirt fragments that I dug up from another biome and brought with me to this biome, which has no dirt, into ground that you can use to plant in. Pick any of the options that end in ground, it doesn't really matter, but just do not use sod. And you'll notice it's kind of greedy. It takes 12 dirt fragments to make 1 piece of ground. So figure out how many plants or trees you're going to want to plant and take it times 12, and that's how much dirt you'll need. Alright, now watch the wireframe on these poles and watch how they're installed, because you can't have the wireframe in the center. It's got to be all the way around the outside edge. I found it's easier to position it once and then lay down a row of them, because otherwise, if you're going to build just one planter box at a time, you have to spin each pole 4 times. It's easier to spin it into the proper position once and lay down several, and then spin it to the next position, lay down those, and then continue. Since I want this to have a kind of natural look, I'm not going in a direct line, and yes, that does make it harder to come back and do the next pole to make the box, but it's worth it. Of course, this would have been much easier if I would have got out here and cleaned off this area, got rid of the shrubs and weeds and cacti, but I wanted to do the trees first because I needed to get it done before dark. I was afraid if I took the time to clear the area, then I wouldn't get the trees planted. Now I'm on the second rotation of the poles, so watch that positioning. And here's the third positioning, and by now I'm sure you've got the idea. And the fourth and final positioning. Now you might be wondering why you have to put this box down, and that's a good question. The answer is because you dig a hole in the center of the box, and then you put in your ground that you have to plant the tree in. If you don't have the box there, you put the ground in the hole and it immediately just looks like the surrounding sand area. And that means if you harvest the trees, then you can't find where the dirt is, and you'll most likely plant the next tree that you replace the first tree. Because remember, we're practicing sustainability here. You may plant the next tree in the sand where it will either not grow or grow really slow and not produce seeds. Alright, I've got all my planter boxes down. Now I'm going to go around and dig a hole squarely in the center of each one with a shovel. Now make sure that you got your aiming reticle in the center, because you don't want to hack into the wood instead of digging a hole. Now I'll put the dirt in the holes I've just dug. Notice how much that looks like the surrounding sand. Now I'll work it with the hoe using the left trigger button. Now I don't know if this is strictly necessary. In the other biomes you can plant it directly into the dirt and the tree will grow and it'll produce seeds. It'll probably do that here too. I'm just trying to hedge my bet because I only have so many seeds with me, and I'm hoping that maybe it'll increase the growth I'm hoping it'll shorten the growth time. And now it's time to plant, so I will move my tree seeds down into my hotbar and kind of randomize how I plant these, again making it look natural. So let me throw a few of these in here. I'll put one directly into the sand so we can monitor its growth compared to the others over the next few days. And now I'm going to put some wood frames next to it so I can find it again. Hey neighbor, how's it going? Alright folks, I think that is it for this episode. I think I'm going to run down here and get some water. Night has fallen, so I need to be careful, quiet, and quick. But I'm going to grab that water so I can be purifying it while I'm stuck inside tonight. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up, a like if you could. Any sort of interaction like that really helps push the channel forward and helps other people to see it. So please do that, share if you can, and if you have any comments, let me know. I'd be glad to hear them, and I'd love to respond. So until next time, take care. Another episode of The Desert Rat and 7 Days to Die is at an end. I'm out.